Um, so, I mean, I think I'd always been interested in it, but I think it would have been, talking to you when you were at the house and just kind of going into like more detail about how, the community that you had felt, and just how it kind of like had opened up your a whole new world to it. I think sounded, really, really interesting. And it turns out, because I told you that my partner had been doing this since like 2017, and he had just always kind of taken care of it. I just kind of had given him some money, and then he had invested it. And it turns out he knows, and he's been doing everything about what you guys have been doing. The whole like staking, farming, and all of that. It was just, he was doing it back in 2020, early 2020. And then he just got his job, and it just, because I started asking him all these questions during the boot camp, and he like knew everything. I mean, he's not like up to date on all the protocols, but he like understands like all the processes. So I thought that was just really interesting. But I think it was just trying to get my like ownership of it with my own like money, and kind of really understanding what was happening. Like, the way that he had always talked about it, because he never talked about the DeFi about it, and he was just more about like the trading back and forth. That it just, I don't know, it didn't really interest me, but like how you had explained it and all this like nuances to it, I was like, oh, that sounds like really, just like really interesting, and I feel like it's something that I want to know about. Considering that I think it's just kind of like the way of the future,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I think it was, I just thought it was really cool that he knew what I was talking about. And like, he was like, oh yeah, like you do this and this and this and da 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 da, and I was just like, oh, okay. Because I think, I don't know if this is like directly related to it, but I think there's like so much information that was going through it, and that I still don't really feel like there was a lot of support, but there wasn't a lot of support at the same time. And so like I had so many other questions, and I didn't really, like, I have a really hard time just like writing everything down. It's just me personally. I feel like it's like very tedious. It takes like so much gets lost. It takes like quadruple the amount of time versus just like a quick like phone call or video call or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was just asking him so many things all the time, and he was just like, so I think it was more just like I felt like a relief that there was someone I could talk to about it, that I didn't feel like I was on such a tight timeline of like a 30-minute call, or like I was like the stupid one asking all of these like redundant questions.
Yeah.
Like the same question in like 5 different ways to make sure that I really understood it.
Yeah.
I
feel you.
Yeah. I don't think I'm at that point yet of like knowing, like getting deeper into it to know that like it's just like it's like learning another language. It's just like, it's not even learning another language. It's just learning something like on a whole different level. And I think that it is. I think between like my work, and even though like I'm spending as much time as I possibly can, there's only so much that my brain will function and like absorbing new information. So after like my full work day, and then I'm doing this, I feel like there's still so much to learn that I haven't, and I'm still in that phase of being like kind of a deer in headlights. It's like, I think I get it, I don't get it, sometimes I get it, but maybe I just get like very top 0.05% of it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I've really had that like aha moment yet. I think it just like opened my eyes a lot about the banking and the control, and just how I think it's just yeah, I think just made it more clear the way that the traditional financial world is set up is like so archaic and is so yeah, it's just, not equal, it's not fair, it takes a long time, it's tedious, it's just kind of like just really inefficient. I'm not saying DeFi is like perfect because it's not by any means, but I think that it just shows that there's so much room for improvement, and it shouldn't be such I don't know, I don't feel like DeFi should be such a I don't know how to say it. It shouldn't be so like underground, or it shouldn't be so like illicit and so like, ooh, you kind of talk about it, but you don't really talk about it, and I don't know. I just feel like it's there should be like a middle ground between what our current situation is and what DeFi is, I think also like definitely like driven by wanting to learn about like a different way to like make income. I think is definitely for sure like a huge part of it, to not feel maybe so dependent on like my swimwear brand and like having to like have that be the main source of income. I think that was also something that was like huge. I mean, I think that the whole experience has been really really good in like the whole scheme of things, and I've learned so much, and I'm really like, I don't think that there would have been any other way that I would have really gotten into it, to be honest. I don't think I would have spent the time to watch like YouTube. I mean, that's what like my partner did. I mean, he just like spent so much time on the internet and like talking to people and just like sussing out the shit to like the real stuff. And like I would have never, I know you probably did it for like 8 months or a year, I don't even know, but like I would have never had that commitment to do that and to like really shuffle through the bullshit and know what's real and what isn't. And I feel like that's what I really appreciate with the course, is that like you can just tell that it's like very trustworthy information that you're getting, that I think is like invaluable. No, I mean, I'm like super like grateful and like really appreciative, and I'm like so glad I did this. I think that it's just like, how do I keep that momentum up? And half of it is like my own challenge of trying to balance it with like my work and my job. And it's like when you're in that course, it's like I spent this money, like you have that dedicated like I don't want to say like intention, but you're just committed to it, because it's like you have this deadline and you have these courses. And so I just want to make sure that for me that I keep up with it and that I continue to become like engaged. And I think having that alumni channel and feeling like there is that community that I'm part of will definitely help that. But I think, I mean, the way the information was like shared and taught, I mean, I think everyone is so incredibly smart, and I think Liquidity is like an amazing job at what she does, like how she explains it, how she I'm just like, can I be your mentor? Like, like I think it is. So I mean, I think it's like I'm super grateful, and I'm like really excited to see like what continues with this and how this like continues to be like part of my life, because I definitely want it to be. So